No contact is not powerful if you are still waiting for her to come back. Folks, let's be honest. Many men hear the same advice after heartbreak. Stop texting her, disappear, let her miss you, make her wonder what she lost, and for a while it feels strong. You put the phone down, you stop reaching out, you tell yourself you are in control. Yet your mood still rises and falls with one imagined notification memory and unanswered question. But inside you are still checking, still hoping, still replaying her last message, still imagining the day she realizes you were different from every other man. My friend, that is not freedom. That is waiting in silence. The real strategy is deeper than no contact. It is not about punishing her, making her jealous, or trying to win some invisible emotional game. It is about becoming so steady, so disciplined, so focused on your own life that her return no longer decides your peace. In this video, I will show you why no contact alone is not enough, how indifference becomes real power, how pain can be turned into discipline, and why the strongest man is not the one who gets her back. It is the man who stops needing to. Stay with me, because by the end you will understand the shift that most men never make. You will learn how to stop waiting, stop reacting, and start living on your own terms with quiet strength. Let's get into it. Number 1. The fall of a broken man. Folks, every transformation begins with a fall, not the kind of fall people see from the outside. I am talking about the quiet collapse that happens inside a man when the woman he trusted suddenly becomes a stranger. One day she is laughing with him, sharing dreams, talking late into the night. The next day her voice is colder, her replies are shorter, and the door he thought was open is suddenly shut. My friend, that kind of heartbreak does not just hurt the heart, it attacks a man's identity. He starts asking questions he cannot answer. Was I too available? Did I care too much? Was I not masculine enough? Did she ever really mean what she said? And because he cannot find a clean answer, his mind keeps walking back into the same burning house. Think about Mark, 56, from Dallas, and Renee, 49. Mark was not a weak man. He owned a small roofing company, had raised 2 sons, and had already survived a divorce years earlier. But Renee got close to him in a way he had not felt in a long time. She texted him every morning, called him handsome, talked about weekend trips, and made him believe that maybe life was giving him one more chance at something real. Then the energy changed. Renee pulled away. No big fight, no honest conversation, just distance, a dry message, a cancelled dinner. Then a final conversation where she said she needed space and did not know what she wanted. Mark tried to act calm, but inside he was shattered. The same man who once walked into rooms with confidence now felt exposed, hungry for one sign that he had not been replaced. That is where many men begin. They stare at the phone like it owes them an explanation. They reread old messages, searching for the moment everything turned. They remember her laugh, her perfume, the way she looked at them when things still felt alive. Then they torture themselves with comparisons, imagining another man getting the softness they lost. So they try no contact. They stop texting. They stop calling. They tell themselves, I am done. But deep down they are not done. They are waiting, waiting for her to notice, waiting for her to regret it, waiting for one message that proves they still mattered. On the outside, they are silent. On the inside, she is still the center of the room. That is the real fall, folks, not losing her. Losing yourself after she leaves. A Stoic man has to see this clearly. Heartbreak exposes where your power was placed. If your peace collapses because one person withdraws affection, then your foundation was never inside you. It was sitting in her hands. That does not make you pathetic. It makes you human, but it also means you have work to do now. The first stage is not revenge. It is not pretending you do not care. It is not posting quotes, chasing distractions, or hoping she watches you suffer quietly. The first stage is admitting the truth. You are hurt. You are attached. You are still looking for your worth in the eyes of someone who stepped away. Mark's turning point came when he realized no contact was not healing him, because every silent day was still about Renee. He was not rebuilding, he was rehearsing her return. And once he saw that the real work quietly began. If you are ready to stop waiting in pain and start rebuilding yourself, write this in the comments. I rise again. Stay with me, because the next part reveals why no contact alone is not enough if your heart is still waiting at the door. Number 2. No contact is not enough. Folks, no contact is the advice every man hears after heartbreak. Stop texting, stop calling, stop explaining, disappear, let her feel your absence. And on the surface, that sounds powerful. It feels like control. It feels like finally taking your hand off the fire. But my friend, no contact can fool you if you do not understand its purpose. No contact is not a spell. It is not a secret button that makes a woman suddenly miss you, regret losing you, or wake up one morning desperate to return. It is not a silent trick where you suffer privately and wait for her to feel the same pain. If you use no contact that way, you are not free. You are just waiting without words, and waiting is still attachment. This is why many men fail, even while doing no contact correctly on the outside. They do not send a message, but they check her profile. They do not call, but they imagine what they would say if she reached out. They do not beg, but they keep building a fantasy where she finally realizes they were different. Their phone is quiet, but their mind is loud. That is not healing. That is emotional dependence dressed up as discipline. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." That quote belongs here because a man can be physically absent and still be mentally owned. He can block her number and still let her memory control his mood. He can stop chasing her body, but keep chasing her validation in his imagination. Real freedom is not proven by silence. Real freedom is proven by self-command. So ask yourself honestly, are you using no contact to recover, or are you using it to wait? Are you stepping away to rebuild your life, or are you stepping away hoping she notices? Are you creating peace, or are you creating pressure? That answer matters, because the same behavior can come from two completely different places. One man goes silent because he respects himself. Another goes silent because he wants a reaction. Only one of them becomes stronger. A woman can often sense the difference, not because she can read your mind, but because your energy gives it away. If she sends one small message and you respond like a starving man who finally saw bread, she knows you were never truly detached. If one story view, one casual, "Hey, how have you been?" pulls you back into excitement, she can feel that your silence was only a waiting room. That is why no contact alone is not enough. It removes access, but it does not automatically rebuild identity. It stops communication, but it does not automatically restore dignity. It creates distance, but it does not automatically create power. Power comes when you stop needing her return to feel complete. That is the line where a wounded man begins becoming steady again in real time. A Stoic man uses no contact as a boundary, not a performance. He does not count the days like a prisoner carving marks into a wall. He uses those days to train his mind, strengthen his body, clean his environment, restore his purpose, and build a life that does not collapse around one woman's choice. That is the real strategy. Not silence for her, silence for you. Silence so your nervous system can breathe again. Silence so your desire can detox. Silence so you can hear the man inside you who was buried under chasing, hoping, and overthinking. If you are ready to stop waiting in silence and start mastering yourself, write this in the comments. I master myself. Stay with me, because the next part shows why true indifference becomes stronger than no contact ever could. Number 3. Indifference becomes your power. Folks, there is a difference between silence and indifference. Silence means you stopped talking. Indifference means you stopped needing a reaction. Silence can still be full of pain, hope, jealousy, and hidden waiting. But indifference is clean. It is the moment her choices no longer decide your emotional weather. My friend, this is where a man becomes dangerous in the best possible way. Not dangerous because he is cruel, not dangerous because he wants revenge. Dangerous because he can no longer be pulled around by desire, memory, or one small message from the past. His center has moved back inside himself. Think about Anthony, 54, from Chicago, and Vanessa, 47. When Vanessa ended things, Anthony tried no contact. At first he thought silence would make her miss him. He stopped texting, but he still checked her Instagram. He did not call, but he imagined her calling him. He walked through his days like a man pretending to be free, while secretly waiting for her to open the cage. Then one night, after seeing a photo of Vanessa at a rooftop bar with friends, Anthony felt that old heat rise in his chest. Jealousy, curiosity, anger, desire. The same storm he had been feeding for weeks. But instead of reacting, he sat still. He put the phone down. He said to himself, "Her life is no longer my assignment." That sentence changed something. Indifference began when Anthony stopped making Vanessa the main character in his recovery. He stopped studying her mood. He stopped wondering who she was with. He stopped building imaginary conversations where she admitted she made a mistake. He did not become cold. He became free. There is a difference. A cold man is still reacting. He wants to prove he does not care. He wants her to feel his distance. He wants his silence to cut. But an indifferent man is not performing. He is simply unavailable to the old emotional contract. He no longer offers his peace in exchange for her attention. He no longer treats her regret as the prize. That is why indifference becomes power. Because the moment you stop needing her to validate your pain, you stop giving her control over your healing. If she watches your story, you remain steady. If she posts with another man, you remain steady. If she sends a casual message, you remain steady. Not because you feel nothing, but because your feelings no longer drive the car. Anthony started living differently. He went back to his Sunday basketball group. He upgraded his business website. He cleaned out the garage he had ignored for years. He took his daughter to breakfast every Saturday. Slowly, Vanessa became less of a wound and more of a memory. Then, when she finally texted, "Hope you have been good," Anthony did not shake. He read it, smiled softly, and kept working. That is power, folks. Not the power to make her regret. The power to not need her regret. His life had become louder than the memory of losing her completely. And listen carefully, you cannot fake this. Women can often sense when a man is pretending to be detached while secretly starving for attention. Real indifference is built through discipline, time, self-respect, and returning your energy to your own life. So stop asking, "How do I make her feel my absence?" Ask, "How do I become so grounded that her absence no longer controls me?" That question is the doorway. No contact removes her access. Indifference removes her throne. If you are ready to stop waiting and reclaim your power, write this in the comments. I need nothing. Stay with me, because the next part shows what happens when desire meets real detachment. Number 4. When desire meets detachment. Folks, desire becomes dangerous when it turns into dependence. There is nothing wrong with wanting a woman. There is nothing weak about missing her voice, remembering her softness, or feeling that pull when a memory rises. A man is not made of stone. But the moment your desire starts begging for her reaction, you have left attraction and entered surrender. My friend, this is the place where most men lose themselves. They confuse desire with destiny. They think because they feel a strong pull, they must obey it. They think because she still has power over their body, their mood, and their imagination, she must be special. But sometimes what feels like love is simply attachment mixed with uncertainty. Sometimes what feels like passion is your nervous system chasing relief. This is why detachment matters. Detachment does not mean you become cold. It does not mean you hate her, deny what happened, or pretend the connection meant nothing. Detachment means your desire no longer owns your decisions. You can feel the pull, and still choose silence. You can remember the good moments and still refuse to crawl back into confusion. You can want her and still protect your peace. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." That is the heart of this lesson. You do not control whether she misses you. You do not control whether she regrets leaving. You do not control whether she reaches out, watches your life, or wonders about the man you are becoming. But you do control whether her absence turns you into a prisoner. When desire meets detachment, something changes. You stop chasing the emotional high. You stop treating one message like oxygen. You stop imagining that getting her back would magically restore your confidence. You begin to understand that a woman can awaken desire in you without being worthy of your surrender. That is a powerful line, folks. Desire is not permission to abandon yourself. This is where real masculine energy becomes clear. A needy man lets desire drag him. A bitter man tries to kill desire by becoming hard. But a stoic man does something stronger. He disciplines desire. He does not shame it. He does not worship it. He puts it under wisdom. If you want to go deeper into this kind of control, consider joining the channel membership. Inside this community, we talk about stoic discipline, masculine self-respect, boundaries, detachment, and how to stop letting desire make decisions that your wisdom would never approve. Because once desire is disciplined, you become different. You no longer react to every signal. If she posts something attractive, you do not spiral. If she sends a soft message, you do not collapse. If she hints that she misses you, you do not hand her the keys to your peace. You slow down, you observe, you ask whether this is healthy, whether anything has changed, whether returning would build your life or reopen your wound. And listen carefully. This is not about rejecting love. It is about refusing addiction. Love can be calm. Love can be clear. Love can include respect, consistency, and peace. But obsession feels urgent. It demands proof. It keeps checking. It keeps negotiating with pain. So when desire rises, do not panic. Let it rise. Let it pass through the body. Breathe, walk, train, pray. Return to your purpose. The strongest man is not the one who feels nothing. It is the one who feels deeply and still remains in command. If you are ready to master desire instead of being mastered by it, write this in the comments. I control desire. Stay with me because the next part shows how pain becomes fuel when a man stops suffering and starts transforming. Number 5. Turn pain into power. Folks, pain will either break a man into bitterness or build him into discipline. There is no neutral ground after heartbreak. If he does nothing with the pain, it turns into overthinking, sleepless nights, anger, jealousy, and quiet obsession. But if he learns how to use it, that same pain becomes fuel. It becomes the fire that burns away weakness and reveals the man he was supposed to become. My friend, this is where the story changes. No contact may create distance, and indifference may free your mind, but transformation gives your life a new direction. You stop asking, how do I make her regret leaving? You start asking, what kind of man would I become if I stopped wasting my energy on a door that already closed? Think about Daniel, 52, from Atlanta, and Monica, 46. When Monica walked away, Daniel was crushed. He had imagined building a future with her. They talked about travel, family dinners, and growing old with peace. Then she ended things in a short conversation that felt colder than anything he expected. For weeks, Daniel moved through life like a man half awake. He ate poorly, skipped workouts, ignored his business calls, and checked his phone like her name might bring him back to life. Then one morning, he looked in the mirror and did not recognize himself. His shoulders were slumped. His eyes looked tired. His house was messy. His work was slipping. And he realized something painful. Monica did not just leave. He had left himself too. That was the day Daniel made a different decision. Not to win Monica back, not to make her jealous, not to post a new life for her to see. He decided to become a man he could respect again. He started small. A walk every morning, a clean kitchen before bed, no phone for the first hour of the day, 3 workouts a week, 1 serious hour each night rebuilding the business he had neglected. At first, none of it felt heroic. It felt boring. It felt heavy. His mind still drifted back to Monica. His chest still tightened when he remembered her laugh. But every disciplined action gave him a little power back. Every time he trained instead of checking her page, he won a private battle. Every time he handled his work instead of replaying the breakup, he became less dependent on the past. That is Stoic transformation, folks. You do not escape pain by pretending it is not there. You take the pain with you, into the gym, into your work, into prayer, into better habits, into cleaner choices. You let it teach you what comfort never could. You let it expose where you were, too attached, too available, too hungry for validation. And slowly, your presence changes, your posture changes, your eyes become clearer, your voice becomes calmer. People notice, but that is not the point. The point is that you notice. You begin to feel your own strength returning. Daniel eventually heard from Monica months later, but by then the message did not feel like oxygen. It felt like information. He had built too much of himself back to hand his peace over again. That is why heartbreak must become a training ground, not a graveyard. The pain that once made you stare at the ceiling can become the reason you build your body, sharpen your mind, raise your standards, and return to purpose. A man who transforms pain does not beg for the past to heal him again. If you are ready to turn heartbreak into discipline, write this in the comments. I use pain. Stay with me because the next part shows how a man wins without saying a word. Number 6. Win without saying a word. Folks, there comes a point in a man's recovery where he must stop trying to prove that he is doing better. He must stop hoping she notices his progress. He must stop posting for her eyes, speaking for her reaction, or building a new life with one secret question underneath it all. Is she watching? My friend, that question is still a chain. Winning without saying a word means your actions become honest enough that they no longer need an audience. You do not announce that you are healing. You heal. You do not explain that you are stronger. You become stronger. You do not send indirect messages, sad quotes, gym photos with hidden meaning, or little signals designed to make her wonder. That is not power. That is performance with better lighting. The Stoics understood this deeply. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." That is the whole lesson right there. Stop arguing with her in your imagination. Stop trying to convince the past that it made a mistake. Stop explaining your value to someone who chose distance. Become the man your pain was asking you to become. When a man is still wounded, he wants evidence. He wants someone to see the transformation. He wants the woman who left to notice his new body, his cleaner clothes, his sharper focus, his improved life. But if his growth depends on her noticing it, then she is still the hidden owner of his progress. He may be working hard, but emotionally he is still reporting to her. That is why quiet action is so powerful. It returns the work to you. You train deeply, privately, patiently every day because your body deserves strength. You work because your future deserves structure. You clean your house because your environment shapes your mind. You handle your money because freedom requires discipline. You pray, read, walk, build, and improve because a man must become dependable to himself before he can be trusted by anyone else. And listen carefully. Winning without words does not mean hiding your life. It means refusing to perform your life. If people notice, fine. If they do not, fine. If she hears about your progress, fine. If she never knows, fine. The point is not to create a reaction. The point is to create a reality. That is the difference between a man who is pretending to move on and a man who actually has. The pretender still needs the past to clap. The real man keeps building, even in silence. This is where your energy changes. You stop sounding desperate because you no longer need to be understood. You stop reacting because you no longer need to defend yourself. You stop chasing closure because your discipline becomes closure. Every step forward says what no speech could say. I did not die there. I grew there. A woman may feel that shift if she comes across your life again. She may sense that you are not waiting, not performing, not reaching. But whether she senses it or not is no longer the mission. Your mission is to become so grounded that your progress does not require her regret to feel complete. So let your actions speak. Let your calm speak. Let your consistency speak. Let the man you are becoming speak louder than any message you could send. The strongest comeback is not a paragraph. It is a life that no longer needs to explain itself. If you are ready to win through quiet action, write this in the comments. I move silently. Stay with me because the next part shows how becoming private and unreadable creates a different kind of strength. Number 7. Become a mystery she cannot read. Folks, there is a kind of mystery that has nothing to do with playing games. It is not hiding to make her chase. It is not posting pictures, hoping she studies every detail. It is not trying to look cold, so she wonders if you still care. That is performance. And performance still means she is the audience. Real mystery begins when a man stops explaining himself to people who no longer have access to him. My friend, after heartbreak, most men become too readable. Their sadness is readable. Their anger is readable. Their social media is readable. Every post, every quote, every gym photo, every attempt to look unbothered still carries the same message underneath. Please notice me. Please wonder about me. Please feel what you lost. But a man who has truly shifted does not send secret messages. He becomes private because his life belongs to him again. Think about Kevin, 55, from Seattle, and Dana, 48. After Dana walked away, Kevin first did what many men do. He posted motivational quotes. He shared gym selfies. He uploaded pictures with friends, hoping Dana would see that he was doing fine. But every time he posted, he checked who viewed it. Every time Dana watched, he felt powerful. Every time she did not, he felt invisible. That was not mystery. That was dependency wearing confidence. Then Kevin changed the frame. He stopped performing. He stopped giving everyone a front row seat to his recovery. He still lived his life, but with less explanation. He went hiking on Saturday mornings, joined a small business group, started learning guitar again, and rebuilt friendships he had neglected. Sometimes he posted, sometimes he did not. When he did, there was no hidden message, no sad caption, no indirect line aimed at Dana. Just a man living. And that is when his energy became different. Dana could no longer read him. Was he dating? Was he happier? Was he still hurt? Had he outgrown her? She did not know. But the important part is this: Kevin was not creating mystery for Dana. He was creating privacy for himself. That is what made it powerful. He was no longer emotionally available for interpretation. A Stoic man does not owe the past a daily report. He does not need to show his pain, prove his progress, or explain his silence. He becomes selective with his energy. He lets people see what is appropriate, not everything that is happening inside him. That kind of restraint creates strength. Listen carefully. Do not confuse mystery with manipulation. If you are posting to make her jealous, you are still controlled. If you are disappearing so she panics, you are still attached. If you are trying to become unreadable only so she keeps thinking about you, then she is still the center of your strategy. True mystery is the natural result of self-possession. You become harder to read because you are no longer living for reaction. You become calmer because you no longer explain every mood. You become more attractive because your life has depth that is not begging to be consumed. Quiet power. A woman may become curious, but curiosity is not the goal. Your goal is to become a man whose inner life is protected, whose movements are intentional, and whose peace is not available for public inspection. When you stop being an open wound, you become a closed door with a full life behind it. That is the mystery she cannot read. If you are ready to become private and powerful, write this in the comments. I move unseen. Stay with me, because the next part shows how to pass the test when she finally reaches out. Number 8. Pass the test when she returns. Folks, the real test does not happen while you are silent. The real test happens when the silence gets interrupted. One message, one like, one view on your story, one casual, "Hey, how have you been?" And suddenly the man who thought he was healed feels the old fire move through his chest again. My friend, this is where many men lose all the ground they built. They spend weeks no contact training, working, praying, rebuilding, telling themselves they are done. Then she reaches out with one soft sentence, and they become the same man again. Too quick, too eager, too available, too relieved. That is why her return is not automatically a victory. Sometimes it is not even a return. Sometimes it is a test. She may be curious. She may be bored. She may want to know if she still has access. She may want the comfort of knowing you are still there emotionally, waiting in the same place she left you. And if you react like a starving man being handed a small meal, she learns the answer immediately. Seneca said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." That quote belongs here because most men do not respond to her message. They respond to the fantasy they attach to it. They see hope you are doing well and imagine regret. They see a story view and imagine desire. They see an old memory mentioned and imagine a second chance. But reality may be much simpler. She tested the door to see if it still opened. A Stoic man slows everything down. He does not punish her. He does not act cold just to seem powerful. He does not pretend to be above emotion. He simply refuses to let one message erase the full pattern. He asks, what has changed? Is there accountability? Is there clarity? Is there real effort? Or is this just another pull back into confusion? If you choose to respond, respond from calm, brief, polite, grounded, no emotional flood, no long update about how much you changed, no opening your whole heart because she tapped on the window. A simple, "I have been well, hope you are good too," may be enough. Sometimes no response is the healthiest response, especially if the old connection was toxic, disrespectful, or built on repeated pain. The point is not to win by ignoring her. The point is to stay in command of yourself. If your hand shakes, wait. If your heart races, wait. If your mind starts building a future from 2 words, wait. Time reveals whether she brought intention or only curiosity. And listen carefully. Her reaching out does not erase what made you step back. It does not rewrite the nights you spent overthinking, the confusion you survived, or the discipline it took to stand again. The man you are now must protect the man who fought to heal. Do not betray him for a familiar voice. That is discipline in its cleanest form, quiet strength without performance or apology. This is the test, folks. Can you remain steady when the past knocks softly? Can you keep your standards when desire tries to negotiate? Can you remember the man you became before you answer the woman who once unsettled him? Because once you have rebuilt yourself, access must be earned again, not through sweet words, through changed behavior, through consistency, through respect, through actions that prove the door should even be considered. If you are ready to pass the test without losing yourself, write this in the comments. I stay grounded. Stay with me because the next part shows the final shift when you become truly unbreakable and her reaction no longer decides your peace. Number 9. Become truly unbreakable. Folks, there is a point in a man's recovery when something quiet but powerful happens. He stops measuring his healing by her reaction. He stops wondering if she noticed the change. He stops needing her regret to confirm his value. That is the moment he becomes truly unbreakable. My friend, unbreakable does not mean emotionless. It does not mean you never remember her, never feel the ache, never think about what could have been. A Stoic man is not a machine. He still feels. He still remembers. But his memories no longer rule him. Her name may pass through his mind, but it does not take over the room. Her silence may exist, but it no longer decides his peace. Think about Robert, 58, from Orlando, and Elaine, 51. When Elaine left, Robert was devastated. He had pictured a calm future with her Sunday dinners, road trips through the Carolinas, quiet mornings, with coffee on the porch. After she walked away, every small thing reminded him of the life he thought they were building. For months, he wanted only one thing, proof that she regretted it. He worked on himself, but at first, even that work was still connected to Elaine. He trained harder, hoping she would notice. He dressed better, hoping someone would tell her. He posted less, but secretly wanted her to wonder. His life looked stronger from the outside, but inside a piece of him was still asking, does she care now? Then came the shift. Robert was leaving a Saturday morning workout when Elaine's name appeared on his phone. She had sent a simple message. I saw your picture. You look happy. Hope you are doing well. A few months earlier, that message would have pulled him apart. He would have imagined a reunion. He would have called a friend, analyzed every word, and built a whole future from one sentence. But this time he felt calm, not excited, not angry, calm. He realized he did not need to answer immediately. He did not need to prove anything. He did not need to punish her either. He simply noticed. The message finished his day, took his grandson to lunch, and came home peaceful. That was the victory. Not that she reached out, not that she noticed. The victory was that her attention no longer owned him. That is what unbreakable means, folks. It means the past can knock without dragging you back inside. It means a woman can remember you without becoming your center again. It means you can accept what happened without needing to rewrite it, reverse it, or win it. And listen carefully. This is not about becoming hard. A hard man is often still wounded. He talks like nothing matters because everything still hurts. An unbreakable man is different. He is soft enough to feel strong enough not to collapse and wise enough not to return to what broke his spirit. This final shift happens when you stop making her the judge of your transformation. Your peace is no longer waiting for her apology. Your confidence is no longer waiting for her desire. Your future is no longer waiting for her permission. You have stepped into a life where your value is not up for negotiation. Robert eventually replied with kindness, short and steady. Thank you. I hope you are well too. Nothing more. No open door. No emotional flood. No hidden begging. Just a man who had become whole without needing her to approve the healing. If you are ready to become unbreakable, write this in the comments. I stand whole. Stay with me, because the final part shows how to stop living in the past and build a life fully on your own terms. Number 10. Live life on your terms. Folks, the final stage is not about her anymore. That is the part most men struggle to understand. They start the journey thinking the goal is to make her regret leaving, make her notice the change, make her wonder why she lost access. But if that is still the goal, then she is still the center. You may look stronger, but your life is still orbiting the same old pain. My friend, living on your own terms begins when the story stops being about what she did, what she feels, or what she might do next. It becomes about the man you are building now. Your mornings, your body, your work, your money, your faith, your family, your standards, your peace. The life in front of you finally becomes louder than the woman behind you. This is the new reality. You no longer wake up and check for a message before you check on yourself. You no longer measure your worth by whether she looks back. You no longer keep a small emotional chair open in the corner, hoping the past walks in and admits it was wrong. You have stopped living like closure is something she must hand you. Closure is what you build. You build it when you keep promises to yourself. You build it when you train, even when your mood is low. You build it when you stop reopening old wounds for one more taste of familiarity. You build it when you choose discipline over emotional comfort, standards over loneliness, and direction over memory. A man living on his own terms does not need to hate the past. He simply refuses to be ruled by it. He can remember her without returning. He can appreciate what was good without denying what was damaging. He can admit he loved her and still understand that love alone is not a reason to stay attached to a life that no longer fits him. That is maturity, not revenge, not bitterness, not proving anything. Just the calm decision to stop making yesterday the authority over tomorrow. And this changes how you move. Your confidence is quieter now. You do not need people to clap for your comeback. You do not need to explain why you are different. You do not need to announce that you are done. The way you walk, work, speak, and carry yourself says enough. Your energy no longer asks for permission. This is what she never saw coming. Not that you disappeared, not that you became cold, not that you learned how to ignore her. What she never saw coming is that you actually built a life where her presence is no longer required. She can regret it or not. She can remember you or not. She can come back or not. Your direction does not change. That is real power, folks. The strongest man is not the one who gets her back. It is the one who becomes so rooted in his own life that going back no longer even feels like victory. He has outgrown the question. So from this point forward, stop asking whether she lost a good man. Start asking whether you are becoming one. Stop asking whether she will see your worth. Start living in a way that proves you see it yourself. And when a man lives like that, he stops being a reaction to heartbreak and becomes an author of his own future, steady, grounded, private, disciplined, and finally free inside. This was never about becoming untouchable so someone else feels small. It was about becoming whole so no one else can make you forget who you are again. Live forward, build deeply, choose yourself daily. That is life on your terms. Folks, remember this. No contact is only the beginning. The real power does not come from silence alone. It comes from what you become while you are silent. If you are still waiting, hoping, checking, and measuring your worth by her return, you are not free yet. In this video, we talked about the deeper strategy beyond no contact. You learned why indifference is stronger than waiting, why desire must be disciplined, why pain can become fuel, and why the strongest man is not the one who gets her back. It is the man who stops needing to. Your real victory is not making her regret the past. Your real victory is building a life where the past no longer controls you. If you want to go deeper into Stoic self-mastery, emotional control, masculine discipline, detachment, and rebuilding yourself after heartbreak, consider joining the channel membership. Your support helps this community grow and keeps these lessons coming. And if this video gave you value, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you do not miss the next lesson. Thank you for watching, my friend. Stay disciplined, stay grounded, and I will see you in the next video.